Hello everyone and welcome to C-Squared Artistry. My name is Candace Claiborne and you guys are watching the Pregnancy Playlist. This is my amazing, endearing, affirming husband, Tommy. And welcome back to the Pregnancy Playlist.
Thank you very much.
Good
to be back.
Last time you were here, we were talking about our story and how we came to this place of pregnancy, and so I thought it'd be cool to bring Tommy back on so that he could share with us how it's been over this last 9 months of pregnancy. So tell us, how has it been since the last time we saw you?
It's been good. A lot of different changes, a lot of development, a lot of growth, a lot of showers and parties, a lot of it's been fun. It's been fun, it's been changing, it's been a lot of growth, a lot of preparation.
Cool. Yeah, it definitely has been I think it's been a really nice combination of feelings and experiences that we're having. We've just experienced so much love and support from friends and family, and that's been really, really nice. Like he mentioned, the showers and the parties and just, the encouragement, and also the stretching that it has taken us to as we prepare to become parents. So, Tommy, what would you say is 1 or 2 tips that you would share with other men as they may be in a similar experience with their wives, getting ready to have a baby, and they're maybe at the beginning stage or even right in the middle? What would you say are 2 tips that you would give to them?
2 tips. First tip would be just to learn your spouse's love language and how they receive love and what is a source of encouragement or love towards them. For Candace, for example, it's words of affirmation. So just being able to affirm her and be able to encourage her, and really just trying to figure out how can I best serve her in this season was pretty much the biggest 2 things I would say.
Yeah.
Love language, affirming, encouraging, but then also serve. How can I serve? What are the needs now?
Mm-hmm.
There's a season where it's the massages. There's another season where it's helping with socks and shoes. And just now starting to pick up some of the other responsibilities within the house as she's starting to get more fatigued and tired.
Those are really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's definitely right. Learning, just for me, even learning how to ask. And I don't feel like I've ever been a person that doesn't like to ask for help or something. I know there's some people who struggle with that a lot. But I think it's just me. I wasn't even thinking about like what I can and cannot do. It was like even though I've been pregnant and I see that I'm fully pregnant, I don't see myself in the same way. So I would still be trying to like scoot by, trying to get through little crevices, and he's like, what are you doing? Or trying to pick something up and then feeling frustrated. So at this point, when something drops, I just look at it and I just let it be, and then he eventually will pick it up for me. But yeah, asking for that help and even not realizing what I need help with. And so, ladies, being very, being aware, if you do identify you need help with something, then ask. And if you didn't even know you needed it, then, sometimes it just kind of happens. And once your spouse identifies like, oh, you need help with this, then just say, oh yeah, I do. Like, I didn't even think about it. And so.
And I think one good tip that came up was one of our friends mentioned to you about don't get frustrated over if you haven't asked yet. So just not allowing whatever you're starting to feel, like the stress or feeling overwhelmed, making sure that you've reflected, taking time to reflect on yourself. Like, man, have I even asked for help in this area? Have I communicated asking for help before I begin to feel overwhelmed? So
that's good.
For husbands, I guess we can try to beat them to the punch, but for wives, sometimes husbands, they can't read your mind fully. So I'm sure every husband out there will work to the best of their ability to try to serve you before you ask, but it's very helpful if you could just let us know.
Yeah, that's really good. Another thing that has been really helpful for both of us is Tommy's talked a little bit about how, the season of pregnancy has changed over time and the needs change. One thing that we noticed over the last, really, I guess, the last few weeks was just like our level of transactional conversation was starting to pick up. And I know a lot of parents talk about that, how sometimes it can get really challenging when you have kids because you're just kind of checking off the list of, oh, where do you need to take such and such, or did you pick such and such up, or did you do this, did you do that? And it can become very transactional. So one thing that we have done is we downloaded an app together called Wunderlist. If you guys are not using Wunderlist, I encourage you guys to try it out. It's been helpful for us to just have a central place to put all of our kind of regular tasks and to-dos. So for me, asking him to take out the trash or just pick something up, or vice versa, just things to follow up on, we're able to have a central place to communicate it, to have reminders and alerts, and that way it doesn't take up all of our time together checking off the list of everything that has to be done, especially when it comes to preparing for the baby. Things to buy, doctor's appointments, pediatrician research. I mean, we've done a lot of stuff to prepare. So Wunderlist has been a good tool for us so far.
Yeah, so one thing that's really been helpful for us is a magazine that we received at the very beginning of the pregnancy. And through the magazine, it tells you step by step what's happening in the womb for all the way up until delivery. So you get to see how the child is developing through week by week. I think it was broken down into weeks.
Yeah.
So week by week, you could see how the child is developing. So when you're talking to the baby in the womb, you can speak about all the things that the baby is experiencing.
Yeah, that's been good because, again, the baby's always been inside of me. And so for Tommy, I think us being able to have that conversation and for him to read along, of course, there are other apps that we've also used to do that. But the magazine is something that we would read every night or at least once a week to be able to just get an update on what's happening inside.
Yeah.
And he would be able to know. And then that also led us to know how to pray, specifically. And Tommy has been doing that since the beginning. And so I encourage you both, mama to be and daddy to be, to definitely be praying for your baby and praying specifically about the areas of growth that are taking place. Pray specifically about, their spirit, their personality, all of those things. And Tommy you've done a great job doing that, and just really connecting with our daughter even before she comes out. So the other thing that he's been doing actually has been reading a lot about the wiring of the baby's brain and just other books that have been, well, Tommy's a reader anyway, so I don't know if you want to share a little bit about what you've learned or even just how that's been helpful for you.
Yes, I do not know the proper terminology, but the people who study the brain, so are those
neurologists?
Yeah, neurologists.
Neuroscientists?
Yeah, neuroscientists, neurologists, whatever they are, but the studying of the brain. So there's a book out called Bright from the Start by Dr. Jill Stam, PhD, from Arizona State University. And she wrote a book about the development of the brain and just the recent history of what they're able to do now with the new technology of being able to look into the brains that aren't deceased, the brains that are alive. So we can actually look into people's brains now and see what's lighting up inside of our brains when we're reading a book, when we're bonding, when we're communicating. And all the way up until the last 10, 20 years, we haven't had the technology to be able to do that. And what they found in their research is just that, to break it down into ABC, is that attention, bonding, and communication with the child in the brain development in the first 3 years is what helps you grow in being intelligent, what helps you grow in being able to communicate, what helps you grow in being able to learn and to read and to be able to have good social interactions throughout life. And it's been a really good read. So that's Bright from the Start by Dr. Jill Stam.
Yeah, so things like that have been helpful because oftentimes, we consider what all do we need to really prepare to become parents. And I think that's the way that this book, at least that Tom has explained to me, breaks it down with those ABCs of being able as long as you're there to give the baby attention, to bond with the baby, and what's the C?
Communicate.
And to communicate. So that means talking with the baby. I used to think it was so silly when I would hear friends of mine talking with their baby like, oh, mommy's doing this, and now we're washing the dishes, and now we're putting this away. And I would think, like, they don't get it. Why is she talking to him or her? But not realizing that they're communicating, even though they don't have words yet, we can communicate to them. So even as the baby's inside your womb, you can begin to communicate with your child. They can hear you. They can sense you, just all of those things. And then once they're delivered and they're out, you can keep talking with them, communicate with them. And so Tommy studied a lot about that so far.
And the growth that happens in the brain in that first year of being born, if that same growth was equivalent to their actual physical body, they would be 171 pounds at the end of their first year. So your brain is working a lot in that first year. So being able to speak to the baby, encourage the baby, which we're not there yet, but also speaking to the baby in the womb, we understand that it is working, it's effective.
All right. So the last question is, what are you looking forward to the most with welcoming our daughter? And we've decided on a name. For those of you guys who don't know yet, we've named her Wisdom Rose. And so she will be here any day now. So what is your, I guess, the thing that you are anticipating the most, looking forward to with her coming into the world?
Looking forward to her actually just being here, present, like in the physical, being able to hold her, being able to talk to her, seeing her smile, and just seeing how she interacts.
Yeah. I'm excited to
learning
really...
her personality, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm excited to meet her. You know, as that mindset really came to me when... I can't remember what I was doing one day, but I was thinking like, oh, I know my baby. And the Holy Spirit just kind of like tapped me on the shoulder like, you don't know her. Like, you really don't know her. There are certain things that are going to seem very innate to me and to Tommy as her parents. We're obviously going to be spending the most time with her, so we will get to know her very, very well. But at the end of the day, she is still a individual. She's a brand new person that we've...
stranger.
She's a stranger.
She's a stranger that we're bringing her into our house.
That we've never...
We're going to let her stay in the other room.
Yes. That we've never met, and so...
Maybe she'll even try to sleep in her bed.
Yeah, and eat all our food and everything. So, you know, so it's really interesting when you begin to think about your child from that perspective of they're a person. They're an individual you don't know yet. And so not to assume things, you know, be very confident, and I'm speaking now. She hasn't gotten here yet, so ask me when you see a follow-up video how it's going.
Yeah.
But just from this perspective, you know, I'm getting to know her. And so that's a point of humility too. And just being grateful that we have an opportunity to get to know her. I want to, you know, we're obviously going to be able to help mine out her gifts and her talents. Really interested in seeing the type of person that she's going to be. And excited to finally be on the other side of pregnancy. I've enjoyed it. It's been great. We haven't had too many complications, but we have been learning even within this last week of what it means to really ask God for what you desire while trusting in His will, because things can change. You know, you can end up having a C-section. You can just all the things that you kind of plan and you wish and you desire for, they can change at any time. And so we're learning how to be very sensitive to those changes, be flexible, and just remember that everything that you're experiencing throughout this pregnancy and in life in general, we believe as Christians, is to draw you closer to the Father and to, you know, become stronger in your relationship with Him. So that's all I have. Good luck to you guys who are pregnant and those of you guys who are continuing to try and have a desire to conceive. We encourage you. We're praying for you all. I just went back and looked over a list. I have about 19 to 20 couples that from the beginning of this year let us know that they're expecting, and it's really exciting to see.
It's pretty cool.
To just check those names off the list is really, really cool. So Be sure to comment below if you have any thoughts. If you haven't seen this playlist from the beginning, then go ahead and click the link that I'll put right here, and that way you'll be able to see everything from the beginning. And follow us online here at House of Clay, and you can always follow me with C Squared Artistry on Instagram at C Squared Art, and Tommy's still on Twitter every now and then. So tell us your Twitter name again, because I always forget.
Claiborne IV. So ClaiborniV as in Claiborne the Fourth.
Yep. So you can follow him there, and that's it for now, guys. So we will see you on the other side. Thanks again for watching C Squared Artistry, and have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Funny man.
Start back again.
Um,
Hey, welcome back to the Marriage Playlist. This is
not a marriage
Candace.
playlist. It's pregnancy.
Yeah,
playlist.
pregnancy playlist. Welcome back to the pregnancy playlist. I am your filling in this week for Candace, and this is my guest, Candace.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so see your belly's growing and there's a baby in there. How you feeling?
I feel great.
Excellent. That's awesome. So fantastic.
Okay, honey.
Yeah.
Tell him about